You're commuting home with Katz and Cosby. Now, here's John Katzimatidis and Rita Cosby on 77 WABC.
And now I understand Congresswoman Nicole Malliotakis is calling in.
Good evening.
Hi, Congresswoman. How are you? We have so many questions. I have a whole bunch of all the stuff about migrant crime. But I first want to get to the Chinese spy stuff. We also have George Venizelos still with us, of course, the former head of FBI in New York, which we're so thrilled to have in studio with us here. First of all, your thoughts about this, that this person, clearly labeled now, arrested as being a Chinese spy, getting lots of money and a whole bunch of things are the allegations, was in the governor's office for 10 years. What does that say about China's infiltration in American politics and elsewhere?
Yeah, look, it's obviously very disturbing, and this is not the first time something like this has happened. You remember there was a Chinese spy who served as a driver for Senator Dianne Feinstein in California. There was the affair that Congressman Swalwell in California also had with a Chinese spy who had the police stations that the Communist Chinese set up here in New York that were shut down by the FBI, and they were spying on citizens that had fled China. They fled communism. Many of them were my constituents that fled this oppression, and they were very. And then
the Chinese go back and punish their parents.
Yep.
And in addition to that, you had them trying foreign nationals from the Communist Chinese affiliated individuals that were trying to purchase farmland close to our military bases. You had the Chinese spy balloon. So there's a history of this happening, and we really need strong leadership to stop what is happening. We cannot have this appeasement. And what we see, unfortunately, from this administration has been a lot of appeasement of communist China, whether it was re-entering the Paris Accords without requiring China to play by the same set of rules.
Yes, Nicole, I got George Venizelos in the studio with us, the former head of the FBI in New York, and we were talking about what can the FBI do, because somebody should be checking these people.
Yeah, Nicole, as you know, it's been a high priority for years with the FBI, and you're so right about the appeasement. That has to stop, because they're winning the war. They've divided our country, and they're protecting their country. They don't care about what happens here.
And they had infiltrated many of our universities, right? The Confucius Institute. Congress banned those institutes from being on these universities because they were infiltrating and brainwashing young people. But then you had this police station stuff happening, which was really deeply concerning, particularly for those who fled communist China, to be spied on like that. But what happened with the spy balloon, I think, sent such a wrong message. Allowing that spy balloon to come onto U.S. mainland and to be able to fly above our country, but on top of military bases, and to not have a better response. This administration failed to prevent it. They should have been proactive. They were very reactive. And I feel that that's one issue. And then there's the money laundering issue. We know that fentanyl is coming from China. It is poisoning our children. It's coming through the southern border, but the components of it is coming from China, and then it's being made in a lab in Mexico, then comes over our southern border. So the lax border policy has enabled China to do this, and it's really a big part of their money laundering scheme.
No, they hit us in many different areas. They're extremely smart. They know what they're doing. They're very organized, and they hit us in, like you said, you mentioned all these different areas. They hit us in every area. But buying buildings in Manhattan, overpaying for buildings, driving up prices, and then they walk away from these buildings.
And the other thing, let's not forget, they're making moves. They're building up these islands all across Southeast Asia. They're threatening Taiwan.
Philippines.
Yep. They're doing flyovers.
They are threatening the Philippines because the Chinese believe, according to Gordon Chang, the Chinese believe that they're in a position that there's the White House, nobody's making decisions. And
they'll make their move now.
And they make their move now before something happens.
Yep. Yeah, but
really?
The Chinese Communist Party is funneling so much money into campaigns around the city of New York and the state of New York. and they're taking over a lot of the Assembly and the Senate districts. And this is CCP money.
Wow.
Don't fool yourselves.
Well,
I mean, I know for a fact.
It's not just New York.
I could tell that's Craig's voice. And you know what, Craig? I'm glad you brought that up.
Yes.
Because my legislation is actually scheduled to be coming before the House soon. It actually passed my Ways and Means Committee. And this would penalize those 501c3s that are taking this foreign money and then funneling it to political action committees. As you know, we can't take foreign money in our campaigns, but yet these nonprofits take it and then they use them with their political arms. Black Lives Matter is a perfect example.
And you know how much money is coming in from foreign sources? But just below $100, $99. They keep the computers going overtime overseas and sending $99 to candidates because they don't have to report anything below 100.
But Nicole, there's a lot of cash coming in. The CCP, it's a lot of cash that's being funneled through these organizations.
Well, that is true. And I mean, and this is one of the things when we were investigating Hunter Biden, you know, people have to follow the money there too. There was millions of dollars that was brought in to the Biden family, not just from communist China, from Russia, from Ukraine. Very concerning. And we've exposed all of it. That is one of the reasons why I think President Biden is not running for re-election, because he knew that our report was coming out. It was very scathing. And that we were going after him. And
Nicole, we're out of time. Craig Eaton wants to ask you one quick question.
I just want to say Nicole is my congresswoman in Brooklyn, and a lot of my friends have gone to her recently to ask to help with different things, and her staff, Sherry Diamond and her staff, has done an absolutely amazing job. I just want to say that, Nicole. You know, they've said that your staff has really done an amazing job to help these people to get through the weeds with some of these governmental agencies. Thank you.
She's always fighting the good fight, too.
Yeah,
okay, we got to go to a break. Thank you, Nicole. We love you, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
With you again. Bye-bye.